Hello my lovelies, my name is Stephanie and welcome to my channel, or if you're one of my lovely returning subscribers, welcome back to my channel. And today we are talking about... We're talking about these. Yeah. So I thought if this dress was ever going to make a debut on my channel, it would probably be for a video about breasts, because this dress makes me look like a 16th century wet nurse. This is what I affectionately call my wench dress. So yeah, that's what's going on here. So the topic of today's video, unsurprisingly, is breasts, and specifically a question that I get asked almost every day, if not every day. And there's going to be two parts to this video. So the first part is going to be me answering whether or not I've had a boob job, breast augmentation, which many trans and cisgender women have, or there's also gonna be a second part to this video, in which I talk about why it's so inappropriate to ask trans people whether or not they've had their boobs done. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, have I had a boob job? No. I love how all of you seem to think I'm this like loaded person who's got like spare boob job money, or like I got breast augmentation, just feeling more confident, you know, just feeling more like me, you know, breast augmentation. No, I haven't had a boob job. And it's a really interesting one because my relationship to my breasts has changed a lot kind of throughout my transition. This dress is really tight. When I ordered this dress, I didn't take into account how big my boobs had gotten. Just, you know, putting it out there. And everything's tucked away, but I am not wearing a bra. Obviously, because this dress has a lot of support. So no, I haven't had my boobs done, and I think it's a really interesting question because my relationship to my boobs has changed a lot throughout my transition. And I think one of the questions I'm so used to getting is how I had so much breast development. So I started my transition when I was 12 years old, and then I started taking female hormones, so estrogen, when I was 18 years old, and between 13 to 18 I was on blockers, so I had no influx of any form of development hormone. And when I started my transition I was quite big, and then moving into my kind of mid-transition phase when I was around kind of like 18, 19, when I was going through development, I was very thin and I didn't have very large breasts. I had a very large, well, I'm kind of like a large A, small B kind of area. And then I think that people think that my boob is huge because I like wearing clothing that kind of accentuates them because it makes me feel very kind of womanly, which I like. I like being curvy, you know, may contain trans fats. What are you gonna do? And now I'm kind of sitting at like a large D, maybe a double D. It's been a while since I got measured. But I went through breast development as a trans person through literally only two fields. And the first one was going through, you know, hormone blockers and then hormone replacement, going into estrogen, and I was on a higher amount of estrogen because I needed to be pushed through female puberty for my bone density and things like that. And so that's one way I went through it. But then I think that the reason people always ask me if I've had my boobs done is because I got fat. And I don't know how much you know about breasts, but your breasts are made up of 3 different types of tissue, whether you're trans or non-binary or cisgender. So your breasts are made up of fibrous tissue, So fibrous tissue it holds the breast tissue in place. So the fibrous tissue is the strong tissue, it holds everything where it's supposed to be. Fibrous tissue is what decreases over time and can cause kind of sagging and things like that. You have your glandular tissue, and that's what it sounds like. That's your lobes and your ducts. So it's where you would produce breast milk and things like that. And then between the fibrous tissue and the glandular tissue, you have the fatty tissue. And the fatty tissue can make up anywhere between 5 to 60% of your breast tissue. You can have very dense breasts, which is breasts that have a higher concentration of fibrous tissue. You can have very fatty breasts that has a higher concentration of fat within your breasts. I have quite fatty breasts because I'm quite a large woman, and because of the way in which my breasts developed. And it just means that as I was going through my weight gain journey and everything that kind of entailed, my breasts naturally increased in size. And so the fibrous tissue and the glandular tissue that makes up my breasts is still there. It's just that the concentration of the fatty tissue that goes between those two types of tissues, that fills the gaps in between the fibrous and the glandular tissue, has increased, and therefore the volume of my breast increased, and now I've got this lovely rack, which we love. I mean, I love it. Hope you like it too. I have a funny feeling this video is going to get demonetized. But it's really interesting to me because a lot of people have asked me whether or not I've had my breasts done, and some people have gone through that, and I am probably going to go through that at some point. I like the size of my breasts, but I don't necessarily like the shape of them when they're outside of a garment. I will probably look at having volume added in terms of maybe a larger implant to fill the kind of breast tissue space, because you'll find with fatty breasts, they don't often form in that kind of perfect teardrop shape, and they're much more prone to sagging because they're heavier, which, you know, happens. It's just part of life. But no, I have not had my breasts done. I've not had a boob job. Thanks for asking me. Makes you think that they're worth money. But the thing that's really interesting to me about this question specifically is, for some reason, people seem to see trans people as less than in terms of what you can and can't ask them as a question. You wouldn't go up to a larger chested cisgendered woman as a cis person and just straight out the first question you say is, have you had your boobs done? Have you had your tits done? They've been filled or plumped or plucked or pumped or like whatever it is, because obviously you can have like a breast augmentation and then you can have tissue removed and you can have a breast uplift, and there are many things that you can do with your boobs. But in my case, like I said, I've only had hormonal treatment and then weight gain because I'm fat, which is why my boobs are very big, because they're made of fatty tissue, my friends. Wow. 3 different types of tissue, but as I gained weight, they increased. Anyway, but why is it that people seem to think that trans people are just free reign to ask whatever you like? Like, when would you go up to a cisgendered man and say, so do you piss standing up or sitting down? Why would you go up to a large chested woman and say, like, you wouldn't do it. So I don't understand why people treat trans people as like second-class citizens in terms of what they think is appropriate and not appropriate to ask them. It's very, very strange. So to answer the question once and for all, no, I haven't had my boobs done. When I was going through my hormonal replacement, it took me about 3 years to get up to a B cup, and then over 2 years of significant weight gain, we're talking like 5 stone, I went from a B cup to a double D cup. So that's my secret for those of you that want to know. If you want bigger tits, just gain a couple. That's what I did. It worked out great for me. Obviously not great. I'm not super happy about my weight, but I am very happy about, they're my favorite thing about having gained weight. And so, yeah, I just wanted to jump on and say that, I just wanted to answer the question. No, I haven't had my boobs done. Do you honestly think as a trans content creator that I would have my boobs done and not film it? for monetization purposes. Hello? Who am I, Princess Di? I don't have boob job money. Who's got boob job money? Jesus. But that is the tale of two titties. And I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're avoiding transphobia. And I will see you next week for another video. Stop looking at my tits. Bye. This video was so deranged. I'm just so tired about people asking about my tits. Oh God. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, I can't wait to get this dress off. It's so tight.